going to talk you through this brother machine that I use in my beginner workshops. I strongly recommend something as simple and as basic as this, and it's got plenty for you to do. It comes with a good range of feet, and once you've managed to work through the machine and the different attachments, you'll be able to think about what you need on an expensive machine. I'm going to show you all the essential parts of a sewing machine that I want you to pay particular attention to when you're sewing, and you'll find experienced sewers do this without even thinking. It's a second nature to them. Right, so the first thing is not the most obvious thing, it's the balance wheel. We do call it the hand wheel. On this machine, you only want to ever turn it towards you, and that generally works for all machines. But on this particular model, Brother have been a bit clever and forward thinking, because you don't see it on other models. They've put this groove on this hand wheel, and it matches along with this seam where the machine is built, and that shows you that the needle is its highest position. Now, you're probably thinking that you need to think about the needle being in the highest position, but actually what happens is the mechanism for this rotary is a stitch to be formed. And I want you to look at this hook that's hiding in there. That's your thread take-up lever. The thread take-up lever starts at the very top. It forms a stitch by taking the thread down, catching the bobbin thread and bringing it back up through the fabric, and the thread take-up lever will come to the top. Now you've noticed that's a bit of a mouthful, so I'm going to call it the hook from now on. So you call it the hook. So I want you, when you're sewing, I want you to use your hand wheel to make sure that at the start of your sewing and at the end of your sewing, that this hook is at its highest point. And on this particular model, you've got that mark there, that groove, to show you that it's at the top. And if you don't have a mark or a groove, why don't you draw one on or tape one on with a bit of masking tape. So the second thing that I want you to pay attention to are the feed dogs. Now you've got feed dogs here which are feeding your fabric through. When you turn that presser, the balance wheel, that balance wheel turns towards you, you'll see the feed dogs are moving. If you can see those feed dogs are moving, what you'll know is that the fabric is actually being pulled towards the back. Now, I've seen lots of people pulling their fabric through the machine. You don't want to do that. You are allowing the machine to feed itself. And you're just using your hands to guide the fabric because it can slip side to side. If you do force it, what will happen is you'll be forcing cogs to misalign inside the machine, and that's when you heard the term the timing is out. You've just pushed cogs out of timing, and unfortunately you will need to take it to the repair shop, and it can be costly. So let the machine do the work. That's what you've paid for. Right, so the feed dogs feed the fabric through, but only when the presser foot is on there, pressing down on the fabric for it to be fed through. So this presser foot lever here at the back, now yours might be here at the front or at the side. On here it's hidden at the back, lifts the presser foot up. This presser foot lever also does another job. What you'll find here is your tension. Now you've heard about sewers talking about tension. That tension is the tension forced on the thread. When that presser foot is up, there is no tension on your thread because the machine is disengaged. It's not ready to sew. When it's down, it's pushing the fabric down onto the feed dogs. But also what happens is here, you've got two little plates, probably the size of a 10p piece, that press together. When that presser foot comes up, these open up and that thread can feed through the discs. So that's the next thing I want you to focus on when you're threading up your machine. So you've got your hook at the top so that you know the machine is ready to start forming a stitch, and you've also got your presser foot up. So there are two very important things that you need to be watching out for when you're ready to sew. So the next thing I want you to think about is your bobbin. Now in your manual you will have been given with the machine, look to see which direction your bobbin needs to go. On this particular model you might be able to see on here you have a little image picture to show you how to feed that bobbin thread through, and it's also been etched into the plastic here. This is a drop feed bobbin, or it's also called a top loading machine. When I pull the thread, the bobbin is turning anti-clockwise, so I know that's the way it needs to go into the machine. But I'm going to show you how to thread up the machine in another video, and then that way you can see how to get ready for sewing. I hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching, and if you like and subscribe you'll be able to get notifications for the next video.